Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Friends, today in this video I am going to show you how to determine the number of blank rows and also blank columns in a range of cells in Excel. For example, here I have a range of cells and some entries are there, some text, some numbers, and there are some blank rows also. Okay. Imagine that this is a huge range of cells. Okay. There are some blank rows, blank columns. So I want to know how many blank rows are there and how many blank columns are there. So I'd like to discuss in detail how the formula is written. First of all, we rewrite this range of cells here. So this is the formula. So let me do it once again. So this is the formula I am going to type here. So this will be copied here. So it is like this. Okay. Now let me delete this. Then here you see this is copied except that all the blank cells have become 0 and there are some original zeros also, which is now difficult to recognize which one was original and which one was created now. But that is not a problem. Now what we do, we ask a question here, uh, is it a blank space or is it a non-empty space rather? All these cells, are they non-empty? So we ask a question just by putting after this less than, greater than, double quote. So it is something like this. So I do it for you once again. So like this. So this is the formula. So this one will write here. So it is written here like this. So what happens? Whatever is non-empty, it will be true. And all cells which are blank, actually originally blank, that will be false because question is it non-empty? Okay, not equal to space, not equal to empty. So is it non-empty? True. Yes, it is not empty. Is it not empty? Yes, true. Is it not empty? False. Now here you see there is a true here in this cell. Okay. So that means here this is actually original 0. This original 0 coming here. So it is not blank. So that is why it is giving 0. This is true here. Okay. Next thing is we give a numeric value to this true and false. For true we give 1 and for false we give 0. And it is done by using this function. This is called AND function. Okay. So I write it for you here. So this is called AND function. Okay. So this was original function and before that we will apply N like this. So it will be created here. So we apply N here like this and press enter. Here I would like to mention that this N function has another method of writing this N function. We can write simply two double dashes, hyphen, two hyphens, 1, 2 like this. That is also good enough for N. It will have the same effect. You see, same thing. true 1, this true 1, false 0. So either you can write n or you can write two double dashes. So like that it is created. Now here you see all these rows. For example, this row corresponds to a blank row here. This is a blank row. So this is false, 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 all the way false. And this corresponds to this, all the way 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Wherever 1 appears means it was a non-blank cell, non-empty cell. And if a row is entirely consisting of zeros, then it is a blank row. Okay, like this one, this one, this one. Now we use some idea of matrix multiplication, is that if we multiply this can be regarded as a matrix. So if you multiply this matrix on the right by a column vector consisting of all ones, and the number of ones in this column vector equals number of columns here, so that matrix multiplication is allowed. This matrix can be multiplied with this column vector. So number of columns is equal to number of rows or number of ones in here. Okay, and how it is written? First of all, we count the number of columns in this matrix by this formula. So what is it? It is columns this. So it is by this formula. So formula is this. So this will calculate the number of columns. And so we'll write here number of columns, which is actually equal to 8. So enter. So this is 8. And using this formula, we'll create a column vector using this sequence function. So look at this sequence function. Look at this sequence function. And here we'll write this sequence function. So here sequence function takes first argument is the number of rows. So number of rows is equal to number of columns of this matrix, original range. So that is column this thing. Okay, column number of columns of this matrix. And then this is the starting number of the sequence, that is 1. Sorry, this is the number of columns. So we will have, it is a column vector we are trying to get. So there will be one column. Second entry gives you the starting number. Starting number is also 1, and third entry gives you the step. Step is 0. So every time it is 1 plus 0, 1 plus 0, like that it will go. So if you use this formula here, then you will get a column vector like this. So if we multiply these two matrices, one this range of cells, the matrix given by the range of cells, and this column vector. So multiplication on the right by a column vector of consisting of all ones means basically we are actually summing up all the row elements of the matrix. So for example, if we multiply this and this one and this one and this one will be added up, so we will get 3 in the first row. For example, here we have exactly done that. Second one will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones, so it will have 5. Okay. So what is the formula used here? Formula used here is this. So before that I'll show you. Here the formula used was this matrix, and here the formula used was this matrix, and these two matrices will be multiplied using this mmult function. So I copy it and I copy it here so that it is visible. So this is that function mmult of this particular matrix and then this sequence function, this sequence, that is column vector. Okay, so this was one matrix, this was this one. So we have used double dash here, here we have used n, no problem. Okay, so because n and these double dashes are same thing. So this one we are using, so we will put this one here. So if we put this particular formula here, so we will get this. Now here you see, if there are ones in any row, then it will have value at least 1 or more than 1. But if there are no ones, all zeros, then the sum of the zeros is also 0. So here you see this is all zeros, therefore sum is 0. Here also this is all 0, there sum is all 0. And here also all 0, so sum is all 0. So therefore there are 3 zeros in this thing, this column matrix. Okay. So obviously these 3 zeros means there are 3 blank rows. So I could have used simply the COUNTIF formula, but COUNTIF formula works on this particular range, alright, but it doesn't work on this particular range. Okay, so we have to play some trick. So what we do here, again we ask a question, is it non-zero? So this question is it non-zero? Is it zero? Sorry. Question is it 0? So here for example 3 is not 0, so false, but 0 is actually 0, so it is true. So question is it 0? So our this formula was this, and I am asking whether this is equal to 0. So therefore this formula is almost similar to that, only, except that we will just put 0 here. So we can put a 0 right here only. So equal to 0. So this is the formula we are writing here. So I copy it also for you. You see this formula and this formula same. So we are asking whether it is 0. So when we ask this, then we will again have a column matrix like this. Whenever we have non-zero, it will give you false, and whenever we have 0, it will give true. And then again we convert it to numbers, false to 0 and true to 1. That means we will apply n here. So this formula you see, we are applying n. So therefore here we just apply n. Here we just apply n and then this bracket and then this bracket here. Okay. Yeah. Then we apply this. So this formula here and this formula we compare. So you see these two formulas are same. Okay. So we apply this formula. By applying this formula, what happens? Just means we have just applied n. Then we are getting zeros and ones. So whenever we have non-blank, non-zero entry, we are getting 0. That means whenever we have non-empty row, we are getting 0, and whenever we have blank row, we are getting 1. So there are 3 ones. And now some formula works. Some formula works in here also, some formula works here also. Okay, so COUNTIF formula doesn't work here, but some formula works. So that is why our final formula is just a sum. So we just put a sum before this like this. So we just put a sum here, sum bracket, and then here also sum. And here, so this is sum formula. So in this way, we are getting sum formula, and that will give us 3. So this particular formula is written out here. So formula is this one, same formula you see. This is the actual formula. Number of blank rows in a range of cells in Excel is given by this particular formula. And if you replace n by hyphen, then you get this particular formula, which is also like this. So control C, and here we can write this formula like this. So this formula looks like this. So in place of n, we have written hyphen. And for column, you can work it out yourself. Only thing is that the matrix multiplication here, it will be a row vector on the left. So this matrix original range of cells must be multiplied with a row vector on the left, and number of row elements in the row vector must be equal to number of rows of this matrix. So this formula here for columns, it is this. I copy it for you, and it is here. So you see this sequence, rows of this. So it is on the left side, and it is counting the rows of the matrix, number of rows of this matrix, this original range of cells. So this gives you now for blank columns. So for blank columns, formula is this, and for blank rows, formula is this. So I hope it is clear. And let us say a small application. Suppose what we want to do, we want to stack up all these non-zero, non-empty rows on the top, at the top, and all the blank rows at the bottom by sorting it, and then want to put a serial number of non-empty, no, serial number for non-blank rows. So we can do it like this. So here we have used a formula. This is called sort formula. So here what happens? So original formula is this one. I tell you, cross it, and this one I cross it like this, and this is slightly big, a slightly long formula. This if condition is written with a purpose. I show you what is the need of this thing. Suppose I write here this thing, and I don't write that if condition. So I cancel it right from here to this part. I remove this bracket also. Then you see this will sort it column wise. Okay. But what will it do? All the blank cells will get zero value here, which I don't want. I want blank for blank. Okay. And original zero should remain. Original zero should remain. These are two original zeros, but blank cell should be blank here. For that, I have to use that if condition. So if this sorted matrix is equal to blank, any entry is equal to blank, then print blank. Otherwise, sort it as it is. So that is why this way the formula is written. Okay. So original formula I write it here, and here instead of this I write this one. So if we use this formula, then we will have all the blanks are gone, zeros given by blanks are gone, but original zeros are remaining. And now if we want, so this has been stacked up, non-zero, non-empty rows have been stacked at the top. I want to put a serial number, then in this serial number function, I can use this formula for number of blank rows. See here. So I again copy it for you. So control X, and here I copy it for you. So this is the formula, and here you see this is the formula for this sum. This is that up to this much. This is the number of blank rows. So if you subtract number of blank rows from the total number of rows, you will get number of non-blank rows. So that can be our number of rows of this sequence function, first entry. And then one column, okay, because it is a serial number. So one column starting point should be, no, not for this one. One column starting point should be 1 only, starting number, starting value, and step should be 1, that means 1 2 3, like that it will go up to how much. So we paste it here. So up to I paste it here. Yeah, this formula, Control C, I paste it here. So if I paste it here, yeah. So it will go up to 7, because there are 7 altogether 3 blank rows, and total number of rows is 10, starting from you see 10 to 19. So 10 rows minus 3, 7. So there are 7 non-blank rows. So that is why it is going to 7. And if you make any row, suppose here I write anything, so that this blank row is gone now. This is no longer blank row. I just write something arbitrarily. Then you see this number, earlier it was 3, it has become 2. Column also, it was a blank column, so it has become 1 now. And now this has become 8, because I have introduced this one also. So, so it is dynamic also. So in this way, this formula is useful, and this thing is useful in, if you want to make a invoice where you want to put serial number only when item is present, or its price or quantity or amount is present, then serial number will be printed, otherwise serial number will not be printed. So for making that type of invoice, this type of sorting and this type of row formula, number of blank row formula for number of blank rows, it will be useful. So hope that somewhere it will be useful for you, and you will like this. So thanks for watching.